Hey everyone, this is Snark with Snark's Domain. Welcome to the stream. Today we're going to be applying some Halnziye HY268. So this is what the container looks like. It'd be nice if that was in focus. And yeah, it's always going to have like HY and the 2. 08 just means they've rated it at 8 watts per meter Kelvin. The 0 is just a placeholder. And then on the actual label, you'll see they're gonna come in and put a hole punch next to the color that it is. So this one's gray. It also comes in green, pink, blue, and black. So that's how those labels work. Yeah, pretty exciting stuff. Now the card looks dirty. It's not dirty. That is conformal coating. So if I turn on a UV black light, you'll kind of see some of it reacting a little bit to that light. So why did I put it on? Yeah, I wanted to. I feel like it's like bulletproofing the card. I don't know if it actually is, but you know, if I spilled water on this or like coffee or something, or right now I'm drinking a Red Bull, it would be detrimental. So a lot of it is covered, and it would survive that. Also, when I'm testing shims, or if I test liquid metal, I'd probably like touch up before I apply liquid metal, but it's a bit more protected, so that's the idea behind using conformal coating for me. But yeah, let's get the paste on first. I've already cleaned everything. I was troubleshooting a bunch of audio and video issues today. I installed Razer Synapse 4, and oh, that looks really grainy. See, I still think I have video issues here. That just looks horrible. That looks like 1080p. I'm gonna have to figure that out at another time, though. Basically, I'm having issues getting the Razer Kio Pro Ultra showing up with like 4K, like super detailed video. I'm not sure why it's having issues, but it all started after I uninstalled NVIDIA Broadcast and then installed Razer Synapse and updated Shure Motive Mix. So now I've got Broadcast installed again. But yeah, it's just a bit of a cluster. So, okay, we got the paste on. Let's get some gloves on. And then we're gonna... I have not opened this putty yet. I don't know what it looks like. Well, I'm assuming it's gray. I know Igor tested 268. I believe it was 268. I just don't know if they make two versions of these putties and not just the 234, or 204 and 206, where there's like a thin and a thick version. I'm just gonna grab a knife here. I'll cut a bit more. I don't know if we're going to apply this with, well, you know, it's kind of, it's a bit sticky, but would I be able to roll that? No, I wouldn't be able to roll that. It's a little too sticky to roll. Okay, so we're gonna put some into a syringe. I've already pre-cut the syringe to a 6mm ID. And what I didn't do was clean one of these guys. I'll grab a blue Halnziye one, why not? There we go. Hopefully you guys are having a good weekend. My weekend's been pretty good. It's actually a weekend that I have off, so that's been nice. I also updated the charts. I don't know if you guys saw, but they're on the excuse me, Google Drive, as well as the Discord. You can find the updated charts there with UTP-4. Both by itself, and I also tested it with 1.6mm copper shims. So this stuff is quite, yeah, quite sticky. You would not be able to hand roll this putty, that's for sure. Plunger in there. I also want to, let's see here. I'm gonna clean my calipers. Get a measurement on this while we're at it. Okay, so we're getting a 0.03 measurement. So that's the same thickness as the particles of 204 and 206 as well. So that's interesting. If this thing performs better, then that would be pretty cool. Or if it will or not, we will see. All right, let's go for applying the putty. Oh, bring back the dislike button. No complaints. We'll check out UTP4 results. And greets to all. Yeah, greetings to you as well. Long time no see. It's mostly been me that's been gone. I haven't been making a whole lot of videos, if you guys didn't notice, but yeah, nothing's changed. I'm gonna definitely be making lots of videos. Omicron, just jumping in to the... Oh, thank you for the content that you make. I would never have found HY236 for my Asus laptop if I hadn't found your video. Nice. Yeah, you definitely got the right one for an Asus laptop. You can't go wrong. That stuff's great for those laptops. It's a pretty good putty. It's a decent putty as far as raw performance goes. Excuse me. Sorry. But when it comes to thin gaps, it's basically the best choice. It's basically on par with G-Lid GP Extreme thermal pads in raw performance. We just have like higher performing putties for desktop video cards, of course. But yeah, okay, I'm just going to be squeezing out a little tube of putty there. Picture there. Let's see here, am I going to be able to... Okay, I'm not worried about having a little bit extra. This stuff's going to squeeze out no problem. If it doesn't, we'll know by looking at the core hotspots on the Furmark and Kapow test. Oh, right on. Well, that was like the shortest application ever. That's okay. We're going to look at a few other putties too, because it's been a while, and we got some putty news to talk about as well. So that'll be fun. Just gonna do a final little wipe here. Make sure it's all clean. I've already reshaped the TGPP10. This time it's stuck to the cooler for the heatsink, so that's why it's not on the PCB of the card, like you guys are used to seeing. Really need to figure out like a lighting thing to shine from the side to illuminate those screw posts there, so it makes it easier to put the card together on stream. Usually you just get like your phone out and get right over top of it, but I'm trying to film it, so it makes it a bit more complicated. I guess we can talk about the putty news now, while I'm putting these screws in. So yeah, let's see, we've got the G-Lid GN thermal putties we got to test, which we're going to take a sneak peek at in a second here. Got another Halnziye, we've got the Maxtor. There's a few more I have to buy. I've got some Jarapad thermal putty on the way. And this sort of just happened recently, within the last, I don't know, like week and a half, I think. Is that Upsiren, which makes U6 Pro, UX Pro, UTP8, and UTP4 Ultra Thin. They're rebranding specifically for their thermal putties, which I'm guessing has to do with all the trademark stuff. They've been having headaches getting selling their thermal putty into Europe, and because of one Computer Systems GR filed trademark on the terms original Upsiren U6 Pro and original Upsiren UX Pro. And ever since then, which we made a video about, ever since then they've had issues stemming from that, and it's had a snowball effect. But finally, Upsiren decided to just change the brand for the thermal putty, and so I think that'll probably help get better accessibility for that putty, for those putties in Europe, which is a good thing. Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool if they had done it a couple years before, but meh, that's okay. I'll have to, once I test them, I'll, just to confirm everything's good, then I'll update the charts and we'll put JarPad instead of Upsiren on there. And then Computer Systems GR will stop getting free advertising for their versions of U6 Pro and UX Pro, which people mistakenly buy sometimes. Although the UX Pro they make is actually decent, it's just kind of overpriced, really. But actually performs well. But still not as good as the Upsiren UX Pro. Anyways, yeah, a longtime viewer of mine contacted me. They're like, hey, can you make an updated video about that? So I'll probably do that at some point here. First, we're going to get some testing done. And I also want to test the JarPad stuff before I, make the video. So just to confirm everything's good. Yar, dare you purchase me Jara putty pads. Jara pads. Good point, Doc. Good point. You just got me to talk like a pirate on stream. I don't know if that's allowed on YouTube or not. My cough is... right when I say it too. My cough is starting to go away. I've had this bad cough for about 2 months now. It's been really annoying. Right after I had like a cold or flu or something, so. But it is gradually going away, which is good. Means I can confidently talk on stream more often without having to think about coughing a lot. Oh, Zotac. This has been a good card. Alright, let's take a look at the putties we're going to be testing after we test that one. That is a lot of packaging for the JarPad stuff. Not the JarPad, the Mac Store, I should say. Alright, so I'm going to get gloves on here, and we're just going to handle each putty. And let's see, we got 10 watt, 4 watt, 6 watt. That stuff's 4 watt. I'm most curious about this one, so we're going to do that one first. This is Halnziye HY. You know what? I will zoom in a little bit here. Maybe a little bit less. work. We'll just put that there so you guys can read that. We'll change the focus a little bit. I'm going to put it on autofocus. I don't usually have it on autofocus, but it'll make this segment a little bit easier. Ricola to the rescue. I mean, I had high hopes, and I'm not, well, let's see. We'll see. I mean, it could still perform good. I'm not hopeful by looking at this consistent. You guys see that shininess? That's not something I usually want to see. It is, well, okay, hold on. Hold on a second. No, it's a little, it's almost there. It's not easily hand rollable. No, it's going to very quickly stick to your gloves. Okay, so that one, not hand rollable. But while we're at it, and while I have the calipers here, we're going to take a measurement of it and see what the max particle size is. Yeah, if nothing else, the AP306 is very well packaged. I would agree with that. I think it's overkill. I mean, yeah, but hey, if the price is right, who cares if they've like cut into their margin with like expensive packaging. Maybe it's not expensive. Maybe they just buy it in big enough bulk or something. I should probably put the lid on that one. Oh, another thing about these putties is, while there are different colors, there's actually, the gray ones have a different chemical makeup than the pink and the blue and the green ones for these putties. So I've got to buy the two other versions of these putties to test again, but that's okay. It's nothing new having to buy a putty to test. So get some. This stuff is like, if you added a bit of powder, it would totally be hand usable. Okay, so they might have increased. I mean, I'm going to say a 0.06. I can always measure that again before it gets added to the chart. But at least we got it on video. Clean this guy. Get some more gloves and then handle the other ones. You're a big fan of the little inner lid they use for their jar putties. Yeah, some of them do. Not all the Halnziye ones do. Like, I know what you mean, there's like that plastic insert. Maybe just the ones that they packed for me, they didn't put a... I'm not sure. And just come with that plastic seal on it. Is that what you mean, like the sealed for freshness kind of seal? All right, we'll get another set of gloves. You think bubble wrap over the box over inner foam is too much? Yeah. Yeah, definitely could have survived a nuke. Oh, you just cracked open the 2210? That's a blue. Seems so much thicker than what I got with the 2610. Yeah, so the blue and pink are like different makeups than the gray. I believe the gray has zinc oxide. I'm pretty sure the blue and pink have, oh, that's an interesting little spreader. Look at that. It's thick all the way. It's like a little dog bone shape, but you know, that might work if you were. That'll be a good little stiff shovel to scoop with. You know, this might actually be the best putty scooping tool we've seen yet included. There you go. Okay. So this is, yeah. Ooh, wow, that is liquidy. I'm not even gonna, oh, it's not liquidy. Okay, so it is what I thought it was gonna be. All right. Yeah, this stuff is soft. It is just hand formable. And I'm going to predict it has, and I could be wrong on this, but we're going to find out. Yeah, you could hand form this one. Just, it's like on the verge of not being hand formable. But I'm going to guess a particle size of 0.05. And then we'll see how close I am. Okay, well, I actually think it is 0.5 because these are not my Mitutoyos, but we'll put 0.6 for now. Yeah. So as far as what I've been told, the G-lid putties are made at the same place as the jar pad putties, which is a good thing because they make pretty good putty. And back when Jar Pad, then Up Siren, sent me some putties to test out recently, the green one was one of them. And so as soon as I saw this was green, it looked familiar to me. But so I think I actually know the performance of this, but we'll still test it and let it carve out its spot on the chart. Next, I'm gonna swap these gloves again. That glove. 2 of these. Buy some more gloves. Surprise, surprise. Ooh, these ones are super thin. I don't predict these surviving very long. Oh, these are... Man. This is like a no-name brand. Oh, yeah. It's Life brand versus Medical Supply Nitrile. So, of course, the Medical Supply ones are going to be more robust. And we're just going to make sure we clean the forks really good. Excuse me. Make sure the prongs are dry before I put any on, but I'll handle some. So this is the 6 watt rated stuff. I'm assuming this will be, oh, it's not. It's not pink. I thought it was going to be pink. Okay. And this stuff is going to be really easy to hand form. It's soft. Yeah, you're going to have no issues with it being soft enough or anything like that. Yeah, it squishes well. Sorry, I just realized it was out of frame there. iBeebs. I didn't know Upsiren had been rebranded. I'm way out of the loop. It's super recent. I only caught it because I'm constantly finding like links for people to get putty. So I'll like go on and I'll Google. Well, not Google. I'll go to AliExpress and like type in the product. Or if I'm trying to share them a link from a specific store because it's what I've used, then I go grab the link from AliExpress. And then it was like, boom, Jarapad. But I could see it was sold from the Upsiren official store. And then you go there, and then they've got a picture showing Upsiren changing the branding to Jarapad. So anyways, this stuff handles really nice. This is the G-Lid GN Ultimate 6-watt stuff. I have good high hopes for this stuff's performance, or like medium high hopes, I guess we'll say. And it's looking like about a little bit more there. You say 0.12. You'll notice I'm not using the thumb roller. I'm not trying to make it measure smaller, but by pressing the prongs together with significant force, I'm not actually applying too much leverage to that. Normally when you're measuring these, you're being really delicate, but yeah, I'm trying to get it to max particle size, so it takes quite a bit of pressure to do that, or get the smallest measurement on the max particle size. I don't know. It sounds weird saying it like that, but I'm probably not saying it right. I think you guys know what I'm trying to say. Alright, we got 2 putties to... Actually, no, we've got 3, because there's another one we've got to talk about. Yeah, I'll grab that in a second. Every once in a while, I think I should make like a little video, like an update video, once a month kind of thing, or as often as needed, called Putty News, where I just talk about the updates and the ongoings of like what's happening with thermal putty, anything like newsworthy. Maybe someday I will. All right, this is the 10-watt stuff. What does G-Lid say? Warning. Must not fall into the hands of children. Flush out thoroughly with water and see a doctor when there is contact with the eyes. Right on. Yeah. Cool beans. Some more gloves. These gloves are super, super lightweight. All right, this stuff is 10-watt G-lid putty. Nice and soft. Rolls good. You can pick it up. It retains its shape enough that you can like drag it into position like a snake, which is a technique I do all the time. Like if the card's here, you know, you'll bring it up and like lay it on there, and then you'll like chop it to length kind of thing. But yeah, it's nice and pliable. And as far as the largest particle, like a point. Probably a 0.17. I'll end up taking another measurement on my Mitutoyos, maybe a 0.16. But yeah, basically lines up with what I was expecting it to. Most of the top end putties are around that 0.15 to 0.17 range for their large size particle. Of course, they have multiple particle sizes, but yeah. Clean the prongs. Now we're kind of expecting this Max Tour putty to be a Halnziye rebrand, so it should probably look somewhat like HY234. I'm assuming it's pink. I think but 204 if it's the 4-watt stuff. I don't think they would buy 206 and then label it a 4-watt putty, but then they've got the 306, which is kind of, I don't know, unless they are using the softer liquidy 300 series putties. Hopefully not. Get some gloves. So yeah, that's a cool little inner lid. And then, oh wow, this stuff is, it's not pink, it's gray. Does the box have a crazy watt per meter Kelvin? Oh, it does. They're claiming 11.5. Yeah, that's not the case. I'm saying that. I don't think it's 11.5 anyways, because I'm pretty sure the ad said 4. I'll have to double check that. Maybe it's the same as the 10-watt stuff. Okay, that's probably going to end up as a 6, unless it's wanting to be stubborn. I really need to get my Mitutoyos in here and remeasure these. These ones have to get calibrated. There's a slight flaw, so I'm putting the putty up here and not in this area. Yeah, there's like a bit of a gap up here at these prongs, so it has to be right at the end. Which, when they calibrate, they'll get a hone and they'll make it all flat, and then they'll, if they had to take material away from the forks, then they'll have to take material away from the depth gauge as well. Yeah, I'm going to say 0.06. So maybe this is the same as the 10-watt stuff. Except, they look similar. Somewhat similar. This one looks a little darker to me, but it could just be the way There, it's close. It still looks a bit darker to me. But yeah, we'll test them all and see how they do. But yeah, we're gonna grab one more putty here, which we may or may not test. Well, we'll probably test it, but we've already tested it lots before. It's that good old CX H13. Yeah, this stuff, we're just gonna box these up real quick. Put them over there for now. Clean that up in a bit. This stuff's been frustrating as far as putty goes in the last year. It's still good. You know, it performs decent. It doesn't perform as good as the first batch that I ever got, but it's like it's a great option for if you're on a budget and if you have a desktop GPU or you're doing motherboard VRM. It's perfectly suited to that. I wouldn't put it on a 5090 just because if you got a premium card, you're probably going to want to put one of the better thermal putties on, But yeah, this stuff has been coming stiffer than it should be. And trying to figure out... Oh, thought I heard an alarm, but it was just the music. I've been trying to figure out, like, what's been going on with this putty for a while. And I had finally, thanks to Scoops, reached out to the manufacturer. He found them on, I can't remember what the website was, but basically he passed that information on, and then I got in touch with them, and they're like, I explained the issue with the putty being stiffer than it had initially been, and you know what was going on, and they're like, oh, maybe you bought it from, you know, like a fake one or something, because it was AliExpress, and so that was like the go-to excuse. I was like, okay, not possible, but it's the same sellers as I had bought before, but maybe like they were getting something that, I don't know. I thought it was plausible that maybe I wasn't receiving it for whatever reason, like legit stuff, because I did notice a change in the label, and that's when I started to, well, and I was getting those stiffer batches, and the label changed just ever so slightly in color, so I was like, okay, maybe that's it. So then I bought 2 kgs of this stuff. 2 kgs. Yeah, Doc, you found them, and then Scoops made contact though. So, like, awesome that you guys did that. It's made by Shenzhen. I'm not going to be able to pronounce that. Xing Technology Co. Ltd. And they've got, like, website www.zzxkj.com. So I bought 2 kilograms of putty from them, and I was hoping it was going to be buttery smooth, and like I didn't really care if the color was like that pink. The color doesn't matter. I was hoping it was going to be soft and that same like perfect putty texture that they had before, which was awesome. By the way, for the few of you guys that felt that putty, like the first batch, it was great. This stuff's never going to leave a mess. Okay. You could use it to hammer in a nail if you want to. I'm just kidding you. It probably wouldn't work that great, but it's very like a tough, drier putty. It'll still squish. It's just not as great as it used to be. So no, I didn't receive fake putty because all the batches I was testing, they felt exactly like this tough, like dry, crumbly, not crumbly. it's just a tougher putty. Now, some folks might actually like this putty because it doesn't leave much of a mess. You're never going to have it stick to your gloves, right? You can roll it like a stiff clay. You'll have to apply a bit more pressure when you go to assemble your card or device. And I would not use this on a laptop at all, just because of how stiff it is. But it holds a rope really well. It's probably one of the easiest ones to roll and keep its shape right now. Well, there's actually some decent putties to use, but yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit disappointed that we don't have, because I'm expecting this to perform the same as the other batches I tested, which were 2 to 3 degrees worse than the OG batch. If they could get it back up to being the higher performing and just soften it a little bit, not much, just a little, that'd be awesome. They could probably take like 25 to 30% of the putty sales based on their price point, because it was cheap back then when it was still soft and good. It's still cheap now. It looks like they've discounted it a little bit. It's like even cheaper. It's a good budget option, but imagine if they like returned it to its former glory. Everyone would be buying this. You know, and I like Up Siren, and I like, well, I'm sure I'm gonna like Jarpad. There's lots of great putties out there, but like these guys could like own a good chunk of that market, and I think for a while they even were, and they've just been, they're probably still doing decent. I just think they could sell so much more if they soften it up just a little bit, not much, just bring it back to where it was. I still have a sample of that. Like, I'd even send it to them if they wanted to see what I was talking about. But hopefully someday it gets returned to its former glory. It's still a decent putty. I just don't like how stiff it is. But that, I think that's all the putties that I wanted to talk about today. I'll get that test card put on the test bench and crunching away. Yeah. And we'll get to testing more of these thermal putties. There's like lots on the backlog. I've got 3 more putties on the way. So from Jarpad, I've got to check in with them if they're still making a UTP4, a version of that. So they're using a different naming sequence for the Jarpad putties. So I'll have to double check if they're still making a thin one. But other than that, thanks for tuning in, everyone. It's been fun doing a stream again after I was troubleshooting my video and audio stuff today for a couple hours. But yeah, we are back at it. Thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Snarks Domain out.